about that. Okay, now we're recording. So now we're officially starting. The people were here. I was going for a few minutes, but in short, I mentioned now in the stream, make sure you check the announcements every day in Google Classroom. We had a YouTube outage yesterday, and I posted in there about that. Some students tipped me off. And if you need an extra day on some assignments that involve YouTube, you can have it. But back to what I was just talking to the ones that are here live in studio, so to speak, on Zoom. The TED Talk assignment. What I just was telling them is when I share something like this, some people might mistakenly think, oh, Mr. Rio, you're just sharing stuff you agree with. And I'm not doing that at all. I'm sharing various opinions on things. There is not time to hear every opinion out there. There could be hundreds or thousands of opinions out there about a topic like poverty. I'm just sharing one. And my goal is not to get you to think a certain way, not to get you to agree or disagree. I agree with some things people like this say. I disagree maybe with some things, or I see it as just part of the picture, just part of the story, just part of the solution to a complex problem. But it is interesting to hear someone's perspective, whatever it may be. I like to hear a lot of different ideas and different perspectives. So that's what this one here is about. And I had mentioned that when I first posted it, I'd forgot to put the link in. So if you ever know something like that, tell me immediately. The Dropout Nation, I postponed the due date into next week. And when next week rolls around, I'll drag the assignment up to next week because it actually won't be due till next week. I realize a number of things will all coming due around tomorrow, including the test. And Dropout Nation's a rather big documentary. It's almost 2 hours long, hour 53 minutes. But it's really good and really worthwhile to watch and sad at the same time. It focuses on a inner city, mostly minority school in Houston, Texas. And it follows the stories of 4 of the students and their challenges and their struggles and their stories. And then you got to wait till the end to see what happens with them. Do they get through high school? Do they drop out? What are the issues they're dealing with? What are the problems that they have? And the dropout crisis is a big problem in our nation. And statistically, people who drop out, you can imagine, they don't have many opportunities for good jobs, much more likely to have other problems such as getting involved in crime or teen pregnancies or drugs or all kinds of challenges. Now, even though this is an inner city, predominantly minority school focused on in this documentary, this is a problem that exists everywhere. Yes, we have students like this here at Harper Creek, okay? They may not be, as big a number we have to deal with, but we still have the same type of students, same types of problems, same types of issues. And they have that all over the country to various degrees. This just happens to be a school that has a lot of it, okay? So it's a very interesting documentary. I shared a PDF. Now, this is a little different way I set up this assignment. I put a little synopsis here of the 4 that are being followed in this story. So that's just to help you out a little bit, keep track of who's who. And that is how they spell their names, as far as I know from the story. Then what you're going to do after you watch the whole thing, you don't have to write a huge amount because there's a lot it covers, but you're going to write about some of the causes of dropouts, and that could be from anything in the documentary or even things that you know about from other sources. And you're going to share some of your opinion about what can be done about this. So I gave you a fair amount of flexibility here. I didn't put a lot of questions. I even gave you a synopsis of the characters to help refresh your memory. And, a half page is a half page. There's probably going to be about, 5, 6 sentences. So it's not a huge amount to write, okay? And it's a kind of a combination summary and opinion. But it is a big documentary to watch. But if you watch it, you can sit and watch it an hour and 53 minutes. You can watch part of it one day, part another day, and that should be fine. So I carry that in the next week in case it was a little too much to get done by Friday. You may remember I no longer do Saturday and Sunday due dates. So if something isn't due Friday, I carry it into the following week because a lot of parents complained that students were waiting until the weekend to do their work. And then when the parents wanted to do family activities, the students claimed they had too much work to do. So it's either due by Friday and should start work on things Monday and Tuesday when they're assigned. They're assigned Monday morning. Okay, so I talked about the TED Talk here a little bit. I talked about Dropout Nation. I'm just setting those up. I'm not really talking about them as far as going over them, because I want you to watch them first and do the assignment first. The twins, nature versus nurture. To me, that's really interesting. They're two short videos. I talked about this briefly on Monday. 10 minutes on one, 5 on the other, little assignment to go with it. And that's just a great way to study nature versus nurture. You got two people that are identical genetically, and they grow up in different families, different households, even sometimes different countries. Then they compare them and they do a study. To what extent are they similar? To what extent are they different? And I think you'll be amazed to what extent they're similar. It doesn't mean that nurture doesn't play a huge role in your development of your personality, but genetics certainly plays a role too, and that could vary from person to person. Also, you do see where nurture does play a role. The one has a pair of sisters who, one grew up in a rather troubled background and one grew up in a more stable background, and they had very different outcomes. So even though they're identical twins and probably should have had more similar outcomes, the nurture part of what affected them, both positive and negative, certainly played a role. So you get to see that too. So that's connected to 4 and 5. So twins is connected to 4 and 5. Poverty and Dropout Nation are more general topics that aren't solely about 4 and 5. They're about sociology in general. And that's pretty much what we got going on this week. So that's all I got for today, as far as just kind of clarifying where we're at and what's going on. The test will be out by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'll post it both in the stream and under the assignment here for test. So don't forget to do that. If you're behind in any assignments, if they're from like this past week, just get it in. But if it goes back 3 weeks or 4 weeks or something you forgot about from September, first contact me, because basically anything from September is no longer acceptable unless you're in touch with me and I give permission for something. So don't do it until you touch base with me, because if basically it's, I don't mind making some reasonable accommodation, but I need to be in touch and know what's going on. Most of you, 80% of this class are doing great. They either got everything caught up or they're not far from it. There's about another 10% that are not bad, but they got maybe 3-4 outstanding things from 2 weeks or more ago. And then we got a small number that for whatever reason are missing a fair amount of work. So any of those people out there, they're probably not listening to this, but make sure you contact me and be in touch. Everyone else is doing either good or great, and so keep it up. Okay, if you got any questions, put it in the chat or just unmute yourself. I'm going to check the chat right now. Looks like we got our hellos. Kaden, Kayla, Noah, thank you for joining us live today. So you're all done. You don't have to watch this again. And good luck on everything. You can use your notes tomorrow on the test, so it's not too hard. And enjoy the videos. Or I say enjoy them. They're not entertainment, but I think they're interesting. Okay. Have a great day. If you want to hang around for anything that you got a question, let me, you can. But other than that, I'm going to end the meeting. If anyone got a question, or everyone okay? Okay, we're all done. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. You can text or email anytime if you got a question. Have a great day.
Bye, Rio.
See ya.